Welcome to another episode of DVT Talks. Here we are again this morning. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves, eating their breakfast soup. Here we are again with Sean Inez, Trevor, and Henry. Hopefully Rob will join us soon.
I heard you woke Rob up.
If he comes.
Happy anniversary to Rob. I woke him up, so hopefully he's on his way with my biscuit. I will enjoy that live. Stay tuned. Hopefully he'll get to see me eat a biscuit on air. We're going to start by talking about toys as usual. Sean, what do you got, man? You got a giant array.
I kind of just went in my office and started picking up toys.
You were just cleaning?
I can't see your face.
I'd like for you to go into detail about them, though. Don't just Moss Man, tongue lasher.
So this is a toy line created by Glue that's called the Unifighters, and it's kind of reminds me of like a knockoff G.I. Joe meets Bionic 6, or not diecast.
Never seen those.
Maybe meets Voltron, because they each come with like a little vehicle accessory, and you can see on the back that they actually, it's kind of like a Build-A-Figure or like a, I forgot what you call the Transformers where...
Diaclone?
No, where you build them together, where there's 6 to...
Combiner.
Combiner, yeah.
So
combiners. So this one makes a combat jet, and it looks like...
What?
The guy actually fits inside there.
Do we have more of them?
Yeah, we have the complete set. So you can create the giant battle tank, giant combat chopper, and the giant combat hovercraft.
What year did you say?
I did not say.
Let's find out.
1990. So, yeah. So that's pretty neat. And then we have here, so they had Pirates of the Galaxies. Those were like the 5-inch kind of knockoff Conan or He-Man or that line, but this is a complete set of the 3/4 inch. So these are extremely rare.
Not only did they go after He-Man, but they went after G.I. Joe too.
That's right. So, and I remember the show on cable, the Black Sails, the Jack Rackham. Well, there you go. They actually have that figure, so they actually made that. And then we got lots of He-Man figures. Here's a still Modulok. I forgot what it said on the package. You can comes with 22 body parts, create over 1,000 different monsters.
Do you think if you did the math, will it actually add up to 1,000, or just like
500? Henry has accepted the 1,000 monster challenge, and we're gonna.
That's right, guys. I'm drinking 1,000 monsters on air this morning.
And we're not gonna speed it up, so it will be in real time.
I will be rushed to the emergency room before this day is over.
And here's Moss Man.
Can you still smell them?
Rip him open.
Does
and
it
smell
still?
him. Rip it open and smell
No.
him. Yes.
Here's a Tongue Lasher, aka Henry.
Hey.
So DVT today, you have to talk about toys.
Yeah.
There's a Web Store.
Ooh. Web Store MD.
Triclops.
He has 3 eyes, in case you wonder.
Turn it's a daytime eye, turn it's a nighttime eye, turn sees around corners.
I'm sure that seal is still worth less
Does
than
it
the
see eye to
modern
eye?
Cobra Khan. Put water in there and he spits out at you.
Didn't you have one with like 80s water still in it?
Scott Tucker would know about that. Snake Man, Rat Lore. This actually came with like a yellow neck and then kind of like the red or the maroon neck.
Tail always bothers me on that one though. Any more space?
I'll put this back eventually. And then we got a graded King Hiss.
Ooh, shiny.
So it kind of looks like they were kind of going after like all the Snake Men. We got King Hiss, Rat Lore, Cobra Khan, and Tongue Lasher.
Are we missing a couple more? Are we missing? Isn't there supposed to be like 1 or 2 more from the Snake Man?
I don't think so. In the series, this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that it?
Possibly.
So we also got some Star Wars figures. So here's a nice 32 back clean card C-3PO. There's no creases on that.
Not yet.
You know, I always thought that these 1232 backs were rare, but I think we've got in like 10 or 12.
Well, in all fairness, you've had like 3 Rocket Fire and Boba Fett's these last 2 years, so
Yeah.
I think things have started to become less and less rare for
There's
you.
Chewbacca, it's a 1232 back.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 20 or 21 back Darth Vader, but that sold. The guy was putting together the first 21. So, and here is a 20 back Stormtrooper. And what's neat about this is that they extended the offer. So sometimes they'll put like little extended offers on the back that says it's been extended until 12/31/1980. So this came out in 1978. So they were just.
Can you imagine being the store clerk and then you get a pack of these stickers and you have to put them on these toys?
People have actually found unrolled sticker sheets
of those.
It's just a
That's
complete
crazy.
mess. If it falls in the wrong hands, people stick it on, and then some
Yeah.
people sell the stickers. So, oh, then we got more toys over here. So this is a Star Trek 1979. This is a laser tag.
Ooh.
So you can shoot through window glass, deflects off mirrors. I actually had photon growing
So you can shoot
up.
yourself with the mirror?
It breaks windows.
Yeah, so I remember my dad and I would play, and then we'd go around. He'd corner me over by the speaker, and the TV would be on. Then he would just leave, and I'd be like firing, and it would ricochet off the TV waves, and I'd like blow myself up. And the photon, they had the big cockpit helmet, so I was probably like a 7-year-old kid with a big old bobblehead helmet.
That's
This kind of. Then here we have a small transformer. We have a Brave
Small
Max.
transformer?
Yeah.
One of our forgotten unsung heroes of the store.
That's standing up. Yeah.
his name is 20 pounds.
He turns into city mode here.
What a good looking toy, man.
That looks really cool. Yeah.
I think it's actually priced cheaper than the.
Who's it again?
arena sheet. This is Brave Max.
It's just a
They
recolored
had
Fort Max.
Max, yeah.
Looks cool though. Like
So
the
this
color.
is the Korean version.
Ooh.
We'll just say South Korea. They have robots over there ready.
Yeah, right. Trevor, what do you got, man?
I have
Ooh.
what I have
What do you have?
is the Mattel oversized
Standard size.
for me standard size vintage He-Man. I really like this. It's just the big oversized He-Man. I think it's really cool.
Sammy has those.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was actually after seeing these, I'm like, I'm kind of interested in these. So
They're cool.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have them
That's
priced the same as the 1982 ones.
yeah. Basically, you can pay
It's
for the
nice to
small
see
one.
them out of the package for once.
Yeah, we have some in package. So yeah, and Skeletor's pretty nice. I like how he comes with. Doesn't he come with? There's a sword. Yeah. Put me down.
Yeah, look up that YouTube where it's all put down.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You know, just watching a He-Man with Sammy, it's like I think it was the Evil Seed episode, and just like all his minions were in trouble, and he's like, "Oh, take care of yourself, as long as I'm not in trouble." And then he was like, "Oh, boss man," he's like, "I'm a little tied up right now."
Ugh, yeah.
Not the bad puns in the He-Man cartoon.
They were great though. They were great. And then we got the 1993.
Is that just a miniature one?
What year? I think I was thinking like 92. The 1992.
It should be on this side.
Huh?
Should be on that side, maybe.
Yeah, 1993.
It says
Yeah.
1999. Trevor, that's a price tag.
Oh god, no! It's the 1993 Megazord. It doesn't really form. It's like basically the Mammoth and the T-Rex already formed, but the legs you can take off for some reason.
You're downselling it. You gotta upsell it.
I am upselling it, but it's really okay.
The
It's
legs.
really cool.
The legs
The
come
legs
off.
come
it's,
off.
It's amazing. The colors on this
legs
thing.
come
the
off.
finish.
They come with the Mammoth shield, the sword. I personally used to have this one. It's probably still in the attic somewhere.
The box, you can put stuff in it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is still sealed, and it's really nice. I love it. I used to have this when I was little, but yeah, it's great. And
Trevor's like, when I was little.
when I was, if I ever was little, I don't know. I was this size when I was born. So, and then we got the vintage Ninja Turtles pizza thrower. I used to have this as well when I was little. Oh yeah, and it's still sealed. No, it's still sealed.
Still
It
sealed.
is
Not anymore.
But yeah, no, the thing is great. It shoots like
I like the ooze
20,000
on the
pizzas
back.
per second. You know, it's crazy. It's dangerous.
There's a picture of the ooze on the back.
Where?
Little baby
Oh, yeah.
turtle.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used to have that, and that. Yeah,
Jared, how many of those do you own?
Oh, I have a complete.
Didn't you say you have a real one?
I have a
Complete TMNT
Santa
sets?
complete
Pizza
80,
thrower.
like 88 to 90. So it's not complete because it kept going.
So
But
no scratch.
But you knew
The
where to
first-
draw the
no.
line.
yeah, the first three wave. Yeah, so scratch and the really super rare figures.
Hot spot.
Got the movie?
I
Yeah.
haven't really messed with those, but the first 3 waves I got.
Do you have
But
the
you have
movie set?
arcades.
I'm sorry.
Do you have the movie sets?
Yeah, those
The movie star too?
those came out. Those were like third wave. So
Okay,
like
sweet.
the realistic ones and
Yeah.
everything, and then trench coat and all
This
that.
is so cool.
Yeah, my favorite ones are like the Desert Storm. So they started getting into the whole wacky. They did
Yeah,
the
the
samurais
themes.
and the wacky ones, and they did there's a Michael Jordan one, and they did real crazy theme turtles.
Yeah.
Those,
Did you do an
sort
O.J.
of
Simpson
a
one?
lot of no.
Kind of with
There's a lot of
Bronco.
variations.
Tubular white Bronco.
And, at the time in '91, actually, there was a war going on. A lot of people weren't born, but
My dad printed the sports cards for those Pro Set.
America was really into camouflage, and so that was the first time we had ever really seen sand camo before, because it was our first like really big public desert war.
Mm-hmm.
So there's sort of a little cultural thing there in the early '90s with the sand camo, and so you saw the Ninja Turtles were wearing sand camo. Of course, GI Joes started wearing sand camo.
Yeah.
And even Micro Machines came out with the military line that also had sand camo and stuff too. So you really started seeing a lot of these tans and browns and stuff, and it was very much a product of the times, because stuff like the stealth bomber, stealth fighter, the A-10 Warthog, stuff like that at the time was new weaponry, and so of course it was really fascinating for kids at the time. It's like, wow, we have an airplane that can't be detected by radar, or we have another airplane has a Gatling gun in the nose, and like stuff like that was really 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 neat.
Yeah. It still is.
Except for the war part, but as a kid,
Yeah, except for the war part.
you really don't grasp that as a
Other nations, if they wanted to get intel on us, they would just buy our toys.
You just buy some Micro Machines, like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
this
this is what they're
American
planning.
I think Micro Machines leaked the stealth bomber came out before it went public.
Are you serious? Is that a true
Yeah,
story?
that's a real
Pretty
thing.
sure, yeah.
So that's funny, and you better believe the government works hand in hand with toy manufacturers and media and other stuff like that for those reasons. But we found out, just a little bit of trivia, the Black Hawk, which is immortalized as a almost as a GI Joe toy, as the what do they call it? The variation they have with the one on top.
Night Raven?
Night Raven, right? And the X-Men had one, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But the X-Men was also
It was just blue.
it was a Blackbird, right?
Yeah.
But it was sort of a mutant version. The point is, when we first saw this thing sometime in the '80s, and it was declassified, and you saw it, you find out then that they had been running it since they had been running it since the '60s, and they had started designing it sometime after the Korean War in the mid-'50s. So in blueprint form, this thing existed on paper in the 50s and was up in the air sometime in the 60s, and for 20 or 25 years it flew around at night secretly with no photographs. So by the time we find out about it in the 80s, it's already on the verge of retirement. It's at the end of its that's at the end of its usage. So with that in mind, in 2018, what might be flying now that we won't find out until 2045 or 2050?
Oh yeah.
And then when we find out, we're like, oh yeah, we were running that way back in 2017.
It
yeah.
sucks now.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the stuff like that is fascinating, and believe it or not, they'll sometimes use toys to sort of push that mainstream, and that's exactly what they did in the 90s with Stealth Fighter and Stealth Bomber.
Nice.
Isn't that neat?
That's some good trivia.
That's insane. You just blew my mind.
Micro Machine.
Micro
We
machine.
actually have a lot of viewers today.
It's too early for all this knowledge, man.
What do you have, Henry?
Yeah, we just woke up and we're like,
This
well,
water
we have a
bottle.
coffee
I
first.
can't afford a name
We
brand.
got a comment from a viewer, Matt Bird.
Yes, sir.
Matt Bird says, did the Star Trek phasers set originally come out when the Next Generation phasers and tricorders did in the late 1990 to 1992?
No, I think I said it came out in '79.
Yeah,
That looks like it.
It was on the phone.
That one definitely looks like early 80s, late 70s.
yeah, 79.
Bam.
So this was competing with Star Wars.
Ooh.
So there you go, 1979 in those phasers. Julio says, ¿Tienes TMNT Vintage?
Yes, DellasVintageToys.com.
All right. Got it. Greg says, I used to fill my Cobra Con with Kool-Aid and then spray it in my mouth.
Sweet.
When I was a kid.
And Henry does that with Dr. Pepper.
I'm thirsty.
You could take that RC car, the
Like I say,
Viper.
RC Cola.
You take the Viper or whatever, and you fill it up with like refreshing Gatorade. You roll around and like make the snake come out of the hood and then spray people right in their mouth. That's so refreshing.
I just aim, what is it, the Nerf water guns.
You got
Just
blasted.
Sprite.
Super soaker. Yeah, yeah. I'm. Don't get me started on Nerf water gun, but
Yeah, no, that'll never end.
just bad deal.
I'd like to talk about my toys next.
What do you got?
Go for it.
We got a very good selection of AFA vintage toys on the website, other than just Star Wars, because I know that's what we talk about heavily. But an item like this, it's a U-graded 90 AFA graded Iron Man from Secret Wars. Really good condition,
Nice.
very good price. It's just its presentation is well done, and you don't get to send in loose toys to AFA anymore. So for you to be able to have an option such as this is great. But we also have a few others. We have Secret Wars, we have Tron, we have Universal Monsters. We also
If you want to hear
have
the rest of the list, watch us Saturday mornings.
yeah, exactly. We also have Superpowers. So we have a lot of those in stock, and we also have some Joes too. Then we also got in these Mezco figures. We only got 2 Arsenals left, I
I
think.
love those cookies.
I have Arsenal from Red Arrow.
I showed the
and
back
then-
of it. Didn't it show a picture of it?
Yes.
Yeah, from back with it.
There you go. There's some nasty glare, I'm sure.
Yeah, pick that up real quick.
Yeah. There's that. Get a toy in a tin can.
When did the Deadpool come in?
Deadpool came in yesterday, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we're down to just a few of these. I think we're supposed to be getting a restock though. So got in this beautiful cloth Deadpool. Think of it as an enhanced Mego toy. And we also got in these accessory packs to improve their playability, playability, increase
Improve the
fun.
atmosphere of your
Yes,
toys.
to give you more variety in your diorama.
Comes with like gun effects, extra guns, the turrets. It's pretty cool.
yes.
When did they use the turrets and what were they on?
It was in the second movie of Aliens when the xenomorphs kept coming at them. They had the turrets were killed like hundreds of xenomorphs, and the turrets ran out of
This
ammo,
is the
and they
second
kept
Aliens?
coming. Yeah, it's an Aliens. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have to
really.
rewatch that.
And plural, not singular.
Apparently it was an extended
Alien.
scene.
Is that scale? Is that scale to the big figures? Will you hold
Yeah,
that?
the 7-inch figures. Yeah,
It's exactly.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
it is.
Those guns are amazing in the movie,
Good response.
but they just but they run out.
Yeah,
As long as they're running, they're able to keep off the horde from the door, at least for a few minutes.
yeah. That's what those turrets are for. That's cool. They added
Lord
that.
from the door.
I love the sound of the guns in that movie. That's such an iconic sound for the guns.
Oh,
The
man.
assault
Do it.
rifles.
Do it.
I can't.
Reproduce that sound.
Fucking-
Don't spit all over me.
Anyone want these spit-covered He-Man toys? But no, I love that sound of the guns. So good.
So we got
Game over, man.
comments or questions?
We sure do,
Are we doing like
Sean.
the price?
Thank you very
By
much.
the way?
Greg says, can
No,
you
no,
please
no.
hold up the Moss Man again? Is there any yellowing on the bubble?
Moss Man, please make your way back up to the front.
Slightly. There's probably like maybe a 5 or 10% yellow tint.
Ooh. It's not enough tint to get you pulled over.
Okay.
We got jokes.
Moss
No
Man
shot.
Fast and the Furious.
No shot.
John says, happy anniversary to the real Ghostbusters. Is that today?
I don't know if he's talking
I
about
guess so.
us or I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to Google that one.
Are we the real?
Got a happy anniversary to the real Ghostbusters. And yesterday, guys, was National Video Game Day.
And I think the day before was Voltron's 33rd birthday.
Dude, it is. Does anyone else? I don't know if this is just the internet or what, but does anyone else feel like every day is like a day?
It is.
Like,
it has been.
like we're getting overwhelmed with events and anniversaries and like at this point, it's not even just one, but there's like stacks. There's stacks of things going on.
National Chocolate Donut Day, National Glazed Donut Day.
I have too many things to do today.
Speaking of anniversary, how was the anniversary of the RoboCop showing thing?
It was just incredible.
Did you go?
Indescribable. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was able to get some hookup tickets, and me and Chaz went, and Pedro was so salty, and he was really upset. I dropped the ball on that one. And on the way home, I called him. He didn't answer.
Oh,
he was really
wait, what happened?
Okay, so
Gossip.
If you don't mind explaining.
Sure. So Alamo Drafthouse in Dallas made arrangements with the city of Dallas for a special one-time permit to set up a giant inflatable screen and movie quality projector and sound system on site at the Dallas City Hall, outside, right in front of it.
That's where it was filmed.
That's where a portion of it was filmed.
Yeah. The City Hall.
So the movie was 95% filmed right here in Dallas. There was a few segments filmed on the East Coast, but almost entirely in Dallas.
Yeah.
Almost all the C and D actors were locals and still live here, including like RoboCop's wife, the hookers, and the bitches leave scene, and with the cocaine and all that. It was a rated R movie. So, anyways, a lot of the people are still around, and notably, the Dallas City Hall is the OCP headquarters.
Yeah.
So in the movie, the base is the City Hall exactly as it appears today, but then they superimpose digitally like an entire skyscraper on top of it. And then whenever they go inside, they go up these elevators, which were shot in a hotel nearby, and when they get to the very high up offices that they're at, and anyone in here will notice Dallas skyscrapers out the window, they're on like the 75th or 80th floor at the Bank of America building, filming out.
Yeah.
Right? So they got the temporary permit to show the movie on site, which is incredible. Then they were able to get Peter Weller himself, is RoboCop. Then they were able to get Rico Robo, who is universally recognized as the world's greatest RoboCop cosplayer.
Yeah,
he was.
So he was there.
He was at my party in 2014, and this guy has the jawline and the height and the way. Like he is RoboCop, even more than RoboCop. Like he's RoboCop for sure. So they had a lot of props and everything, and they did. They brought in the RoboCop arcade game from '89. They brought in the RoboCop pinball machine from '88.
It's like set to the side.
They had it at a VIP thing.
Oh, okay.
Point is, you can watch the movie on site in front of the City Hall, and then there was a 1-hour Q&A panel with Peter Weller in front of everyone. They had food trucks out, and the weather, golly, it was like 71 or 72 degrees with a light breeze.
That's not bad.
It was impossible weather. Anyways,
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. So they showed the movie. It was awesome. Peter Weller was awesome. Not too much into RoboCop anymore. You know, he got up there on stage. He says, "Listen, I've been talking about this movie for 30 years. Kind of done talking about it."
Wow. That's
Thanks for paying me.
He did say that. He said, "Thanks for paying me a lot of money." He did say that.
Birds were paying me a lot of money to come here.
Yeah, 10 grand. 10 grand for an hour. So,
wonderful.
But anyways,
Poor guy.
That'd be nice, 10 grand
Poor
now.
guy.
He did talk about the movie anyways, but he just warned us that he hadn't. The last time we talked about it before that night was 5 years ago, and he said he didn't want to talk about it anymore. But he broke his rule just for that crowd since.
And he won't even release his
because-
likeness for the for action figures.
Yeah.
He's not into it.
No, I know.
And then
it
so
doesn't make sense. Like if you like money,
Unless it's 10 grand.
And the flip side of that, of course, is that RoboCop was released 30 years ago this year.
Yeah.
So
That's why they did
the movie's aged pretty well. The movie's aged pretty well.
Still a good movie.
It's very good. It's better. It's better than people give it credit for. It's got a lot of quotable lines.
Oh yeah.
Can you fly, Bobby? I like it.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1. There's just a lot of really good quotes in it. So, RoboCop's iconic, and if you're from Dallas, I think it's something to be a little proud of because it's one of the only super major movies that have been filmed here, and it's a little bit of Dallas pride.
I was born in Dallas.
So RoboCop's our boy. RoboCop's in Dallas PD. I know it's
yeah.
Detroit OCP, but it's Dallas.
Dallas needs to make an actual cyborg cop. We need to make one.
Actually,
Just to make it feel real.
To bring that full circle, 2 years ago there was a standoff in a parking garage, and Dallas PD became the first municipality in the world to use a robot to kill a suspect because he had barricaded himself in and wouldn't come out.
Yeah, I heard.
And
Yeah,
they negotiated with him for hours, and he wouldn't. And so they literally sent in the drone. It was a robo drone, a tank drone, and they killed him.
Yeah.
And so in a way, We did use RoboCop. Think about it. All right, let's see any comments
It
here.
had the cop hat on, the badge.
Did you guys know that today is National Greg Albin is Awesome Day? Wait a second. Greg.
My favorite holiday.
Gary
We're
Wood says,
taking
do
the day
you
off."
do you have any Batman 66 toys in the store?
That's a Henry question.
It's a Sean question.
That's a modern question.
It's a Trevor question.
Like the
Anything
like
with Adam West.
like the 2014 Mattel figures.
Anything with Adam
Yes.
West.
We have the Barbies.
There you
Yeah. We don't have the Mattel ones anymore.
Yeah, I think we're all out of stock, unfortunately. We did have a few of them
go.
listed
So,
on the website.
Batmobiles?
Out of the
Yes.
Batmobiles?
Yeah, out of those.
Yeah.
But we still have the animated series ones.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
That's it?
Okay, what else you got?
Come on.
Make up some questions, Jared. We need content.
Jared Wines wants to ask you a question.
Hey, I'm Ask Jared.
So obviously, you viewers at home, you know that we are live right now. So if you have a question or comment for our very handsome and somewhat available studio staff, 2/3 available, then please reach out in a comment right now, and we would love to respond to you live on the air. So guys, State Fair's around the corner.
Oh yeah.
Who's excited for the State Fair? Henry, I think Henry might be excited.
Oh, I was just making small talk.
Do you ever go?
I have no interest whatsoever.
I haven't
Really?
been, I haven't
I
been
don't
in years,
plan on
actually.
going back.
You didn't hear about the new queso pancake, queso habanero pancake cheeseburger?
I'll just make that at home, dude. It's fine.
I think the last time Mando went was
But you
when
don't have a
Big
high-tech
Tex
equipment that
turned
makes
around
it.
the same day.
That was it was a few years ago. That was a sad,
About 4
It's a
years
what
ago.
again?
sad day.
Cheese pancake jalapeno.
It's a waffle.
Okay.
It's a waffle, jalapeno queso cheeseburger.
Right, what?
So it's a cheeseburger that uses waffles for buns,
Mhm.
and then has a special like habanero or queso cheese sauce.
Mm-mm.
And it won the Big Tech. It's
So-
the first food entrant in history to win 2 awards. It won the most innovative and the most savory. So it's the best tasting and the most creative. It's double
It's
award
a
winner.
Diet food.
It's also the number one
No.
killer in the United
Oh.
States.
It is.
No, number one what?
Does
Number
it
one
beat?
killer in the
Does it beat
United
the KFC Double Down? Does it beat that?
You know that was just what a gimmick.
Yeah.
Double down.
Have you
Hey,
tried
The Double Down was a burger.
Have you tried it, Jared?
Yeah,
Double
the Double Down
Delicious.
was an experimental sandwich KFC came out with,
Experimental?
where you used chicken as the bun. So it came wrapped in a piece of paper,
Yeah, you
and the
just take
chicken
two pieces of
chicken patties were the bread.
It's just an excuse to eat 2 pieces of chicken. With your
So it had
hands.
chicken patties and cheese and stuff in the middle, but instead of having bread on the out, you literally gripped with your bare hands the breaded chicken patties.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lettuce wrap burger,
Sort of,
without the
but you-
buns.
with no- and with no
So it's
lettuce.
Fried chicken.
So they served it in
Instead
the
of
paper.
buns,
They served
chicken.
it in a paper wrapper so you can keep the grease off your
So it's
hands.
fried chicken,
No, it's like
cheese, fried chicken.
Chicken,
I was like-
chicken, like cheese and lettuce and
yeah.
whatever
So it's
in the
like
middle.
fried chicken,
There you
cheese,
go.
lettuce, dressing, and everything in the middle, and then fried chicken. It was the weirdest thing. They called it the Double Down.
It was delicious,
Yeah,
but it
right.
It
had
did
like
really well in
You
Japan.
had it, Trevor?
it was no. It, okay,
It was
no,
delicious, but I
seriously,
didn't
no,
have it.
it was good, but it was dangerously full of calories.
You know, this is why Chick-fil-A readily beats KFC in both taste, service, and sales.
I love Chick-fil-A chicken. It's really
Because
good.
you know what, you need to be really good at one
They
thing
need
and
to
just
be
do
open
that
Sundays.
instead of making a stupid
Yeah,
experimental.
yeah. You know, one thing we got over them is we're open Sundays.
Oh,
Chick-fil-A isn't open on Sunday.
oh! Did you guys hear? So the Atlanta Falcons have a new
Yeah.
stadium,
Yeah.
and Atlanta is home to the corporate headquarters of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So of course, Chick-fil-A put a restaurant. In fact, they're a major sponsor.
Yeah,
They
were-
put a restaurant inside the stadium.
But no one works it on the football.
Well,
I think they're only
when do they
open
play football games?
2
Sundays.
days.
Sundays. So
Two
so
days.
So they're
um,
open now.
so in the entire season, there's like 12 or 14 games. Like 11 of the 14 games are on a Sunday, so they're not going to ever be open. They have one Thursday night game. It'll be open for that one. So they said so they have a brand new stadium with a brand new Chick-fil-A. It'll be open one time during the entire
Uh-huh.
season. So you might say, well, what's the point? Well, obviously they do events other nights of the week. You know, so they have concerts on Fridays and different stuff like that. But for the football season, you just have to walk past a closed Chick-fil-A. Sort of. It's sad because that's always when you want it. You always want it when you can't have it. So check this out. We got a lot of comments here.
Finish was on Monday.
Jim asks, guys, do we have any Coleco Rambo figures or vehicles?
I'm sorry, we do not.
Sure, we have like loose and complete ones in the
Yeah.
warehouse.
It's been a while since we had some good Rambo toys.
Chris Cohen says, do you have a G.I. Joe gold head Steel Brigade for sale.
No, we had 2 earlier this year. We're sold out.
Oh, those are cool.
We got the.
They're asking for the good
regular
stuff.
Steel Brigade figures, but not the gold head right now.
Miguel says, this store is great. I've enjoyed my visits. Y'all are great and
you.
nice.
Thank you.
And you
So-
show your love for toys.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
He didn't say the last line, but he felt it though.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Miguel, we do accept reviews on Yelp, Google, Facebook, Angie's List, and wherever.
What?
Angie's List is a real thing.
Coming back to
Dealer
MySpace,
race,
Live
right,
Journal.
If you really love us,
GeoCities.
take the time out of your day to write a
Yeah,
review and
GeoCities.
copy paste it on like 7 places. But thank you for the kind compliments. We wouldn't be here today without you. Okay,
That's right.
so Hector says, "Is your store, which is the one toy that you won't sell due to its value?" That's literally how it's written. I think what Hector is saying is there's a toy in the store that's here, but we won't sell it
I know what you're talking about.
because it's awesome. Is it?
It's just the one thing.
Pretty much everything we bring in the store is eventually for sale.
I think the Hink Carbonite, just because it fits so perfect right there,
Yeah.
kind of fills a
That's
void.
the one
Han
thing
Solo
not for sale.
Carbonite. Yeah.
Wasn't there another? There was 2. There was 2 things, but I forget
The
what
Boo
other
Fighter.
ones. Now that thing's for sale.
That's for sale.
It's got a price tag on it. But it's
Jared's face, like, I think I want
it's
it.
The, no,
You
it
want
came
it?
from Jared.
I think
Oh,
that's the
oh.
only thing.
No, there was
The
another.
glass cases.
There was another, but I think you eventually sold it. It was the rocket firing.
Yeah.
And then you eventually sold it, yeah.
I think we'll keep Henry around, but.
Hey. Bye,
Hey.
Trevor.
Sorry.
All right, later, guys.
Hey. Let's get some refresh stats for today's video because that's always interesting to see.
Sean,
Um,
plug the party real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say we had a big announcement in the last few days, or last week, about a huge party coming up at the end of October, and people everywhere, hundreds of people, are marking their calendars and getting ready for what? Sean, can you tell us?
Our 10-year anniversary this
What?
year. 10 years
Sorry.
we've had the store. And
The Gwines horn.
so yeah, that will be October 28th. It's going to be a Saturday.
Yeah,
And
but how much does it cost to get in, Sean?
$0.
Oh, you're crazy!
Free 99.
Zero.
Well, you're gonna charge for all the hamburgers, right?
$0.
What? What about some face painting? You have to pay for my face painting, right?
No, I have to pay for that. $0.
Well, if I want to dance on that dance floor in front of that DJ, that costs like 50 cents or something, right?
It's $0.
What? Hey, there's
Unless you're a bad
What?
dancer.
There's a cosplay competition with like some sweet prizes that have been announced or determined, and
We're
those
giving away Jared Gwines as the grand prize.
But how much? It costs like $20 to enter a cosplay contest, right?
$0.
What? That's crazy. Where can I find more information about this fun event?
Go to our Facebook page, and it's under the event section.
All right. Hey, today's live stream has reached 3,000 people and has been viewed more than 1,000 times. It's even been shared twice.
What's the date for the other thing?
What other thing?
Did I text you?
Oh, I thought you said tentatively September 30th.
Is that the date? I don't have my phone on me, so I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure it's tentatively Saturday, September 30th.
Is that Saturday?
I can't look at my phone.
Guys, if you've been watching since the beginning, here's the big payoff. You get to see me eat this breakfast sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I promised.
Oh yeah, zoom in on that. I
I've been
enabled
waiting for that.
enhanced digital zoom. If you pinch, you can go even further.
so good.
You can go further than before. Get in there. Get in. Look at that. Oh look,
Stop it.
you're so close. Yeah, I found a new software setting where I disabled the digital zoom limit, and I can go all the way
Biscuits
into your
come out of
pores
nowhere.
now.
Thanks, Rob.
It shows all the pixels.
power.
Yeah,
Shows all pixels.
it gets all crazy. So awesome, Mr. Rob's here.
Wicked. Thank you.
World famous Mendez. All right, let's.
Eat breakfast
We're
episode.
getting here to the conclusion of today's episode, which is always a sad time. But that only means you're only 6.5 days away from more action.
Stay tuned later. I believe we're getting in lots of awesome toys.
Oh, yeah.
That seems to happen like daily here.
No, this is some awesome stuff.
What y'all getting?
Miguel says that R2D2 can't be sold.
No, it's for sale.
It's
It's got a
for
price
sale.
tag.
It's for sale.
It's got a price tag on
No, it can be.
it. It can be.
You're
We
willing.
have 4 crate boxes and needs to be shipped via pallet.
Via train.
It doesn't come apart in pieces?
It does.
Hector asks, do you have that any of those old school Spawn figures from the 90s?
Yes.
Got quite a bit.
Yeah, those tend to come in.
McFarlane.
I think they made a lot of those. I remember those getting clearanced out at KB Toys for like
I remember those too.
They were like $10, and they're like, "Please take them, please." And they're like,
3 for $5.
Yeah, exactly. They blew those things out in the mid '90s.
It's strange, like they have not much value, but some of them just look really
the
cool.
molds are insane.
Yeah,
the molds
You
and the
buy
coloring and
them
the detail is
by the
incredible.
pound.
I always see them at thrift or flea markets.
Yeah,
Dudes always
that's the one thing you're
have
They
guaranteed
just
to find.
they overproduce and oversaturated.
That's the one thing you're guaranteed to find at like thrift stores, comic book shops, or flea markets is Spawn toys.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll have a second coming here with the Spawn reboot. Maybe, probably not. All right, so in any case, thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Like Sean said, cool stuff coming in live, so make sure you have those notifications enabled here for Dallas Vintage Toys, because they're going live very often, several times a week, not just here on Wednesday morning. So a lot of cool content right here on your Facebook newsfeed and mobile and desktop, a lot of fun. Sean, for people who are watching at home and maybe just want to like make the trip here physically to come see us, touch us, hug us, whatever, where can they?
I'll be in my office.
Where can they?
Free handshakes and hugs. With
Where
pictures.
can they find us and how?
Yes, we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6, Sunday, 11 to 6. Our address is 120524 Skate Drive, Dallas, Texas 75243. Check us out online at DallasVintageToys.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right.
We
Well,
buy, sell, and trade toys.
there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a